the Catholic schools in our diocese, really probably across the country, is so great. And that's one of the things that strikes me the most. All of our schools need more of everything, and it's a privilege for us to be able to be a part of that so that these schools can fulfill their mission.
The You Can Lend a Hand program has done so much for our Catholic schools, providing all kinds of funding that has contributed to things the schools need, anywhere from playground equipment to classroom books to computers to special equipment for PE. There is so much need. The majority of our schools are not wealthy schools. They're schools that are basically middle to low income. I had people tell me, I don't even have enough computers in my classroom for computer class. We have a lot of families here who are not Catholic, and they choose to bring their children here because they know that they have teachers who are focused and dedicated to their child and their child's learning.
If they don't have a base knowledge now as they move through high school on into college and to be able to get a career, a job, somewhere everyone uses technology in some way, shape, or form. And if they're already starting behind now, they're just going to be that much farther behind the mainstream and that much more disadvantaged for their future.
I am working with most of the stuff that was still here when I volunteered, and then I bought some paint and I bought some clay, and that was pretty much all we had. So one of the things I asked for was a pencil sharpener, which I thought was a very expensive thing to ask for. I don't expect to get this, but if we can we get an electric pencil sharpener? And she got me the pencil sharpener. It sharpens pencils, it doesn't eat them. I can actually sharpen colored pencils, and then we couldn't do any colored pencil stuff the year before because it just ate pencils. They're gonna get into high school and they're supposed to do Photoshop. And I don't get to introduce them to that. Like, they should be able to be introduced to something like Photoshop, which is much more complicated. Some of my standards are being able to use that stuff. And I can't meet my standards if I don't have the stuff to work with.
St. Adalbert School, there's 232 kids in the school. We are 100% free and reduced lunch. Over 90% of our kids receive a school choice scholarship or the voucher. Over 70% of our kids are English language learners.
What's really cool about our school was it was founded by immigrants collecting pennies because they wanted something better for their kids. And now here we are 100 years later, still doing the same thing, trying to produce something better for their children, give them a brighter future, help them to be successful.
I love, St. Adalbert. I've been here forever. I volunteer and do lots of things for them too. In the mornings, every morning when I drop off my kids, teachers out there, cheering the kids up, and waking them up, and it's just an amazing place to come into. We are just basically like a family. Everybody knows each other, everybody helps each other. Yes, we have a building, and yes, it needs a lot of things, but again, we are a family. We're here for, whatever everybody needs.
Our assistant principal's office is in a closet, and our religion teacher's office is in a closet. Our little infirmary is the closet in the principal's office. One of the things that we are hoping to do, and actually have already started to do, is to expand just down the street to St. Casimir's. And it has a school that closed in the 1970s. So for the first time in 40 years, at the beginning of this school year, we were able to take kids from here down to there. And there's also a gymnasium at St. Casimir's School, which there is not a gymnasium at St. Adalbert's. So we took kids down on our bus to St. Casimir's, and they're there. Our hope for the future is to continue to do that, but also to possibly expand it. So there are more classrooms down there that need renovation. There are windows that need to be replaced. There are walls that need to be painted. That school's closed in the 1970s when obviously there was not the internet, so we need to get it rewired. And then back to this building, there's basic things. The stairs here are old and falling apart, but to put new doors and to rekey all of them throughout the building would be terrific.
So I think back to when You Can Lend a Hand was first started, and Dan had this idea for what we might be able to do to provide additional resources that were so sorely needed with our schools. And when I look back on it now, I think that it really was a leap of faith to think that we might be able to start a program that would generate over $11 million now, I think it is, to help these schools. But there still is so much more that needs to be done, and there's so many ways that people can help, and not everybody has to start a You Can Lend a Hand program. So if you're a painter, we need you to paint. If you can come out and volunteer at the school, we need you to do that. When I think of, and everybody thinks of, the principals and the teachers and the administrators we have at these schools and what they're doing, they truly are doing the Lord's work. And if you can find a way to lend a hand, we'd love to have you.